How do you separate neurotic thoughts, mental chatters, just things that's floating around? Say what?
How does it make me feel?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make me feel congruent
Mm-hmm.
with the kind of a person that I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Is that hunch either at the very least neutral, or is it getting me into a positive territory of either achieving my purpose or achieving joy in that moment or achieving joy in the day, etc. And it can be as simple as you and I spoke about leading with ego in conversations previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
These days, whenever I lead with ego, I immediately get this icky feeling of, oh my God, I led with my resume again.
High five there. Yes, I get it.
High five.
Yeah.
I love to make people feel good. I don't know. That's always been me. And I've certainly gone through my phase in my life where I didn't. To me, it was all about, I won this achievement and that achievement and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, at the end of the day, made you feel empty. Like you were living for yourself, but that self was just an island. And it just didn't feel, again, congruent. And so to the extent that hunch brings you either into a place of neutrality or positivity, yeah, I'll follow it. And then in totality, it starts to cultivate that intuition a little bit more.
What's the most, so thinking about all the random path that you have explored and enjoy and follow, what's the most counterintuitive thing that you did? Like, why the heck did I do that? But wow, what a lesson.
Cybersecurity.
Really?
Never in a million years would I have thought that I'd land in cybersecurity, ever. When I was a kid, hell, when I was in college, I was the last person to update anything as far as my cybersecurity. In fact, my brother till this day laughs that he's the one that used to put computers together, and he's the one that would always remind me, back up your computer or else you're going to lose everything. And I sure did. And lo and behold, I didn't learn those lessons early enough. And so the way that I started in cybersecurity is I led a very successful venture out of Hong Kong. We garnered quite a bit of attention, and we were the media darling of Asia, and I was in Forbes and Tatler and Vogue and all that jazz. And as we garnered positive attention, we also garnered not so positive attention from individuals that wanted us for themselves. And when they couldn't have us for themselves, they hacked us, added disinformation to otherwise illegally obtained innocent information, and drove that disinformation to a point where the rest of the board was tired of dealing with the disinformation. And at a time when we didn't reach profitability yet. And so our revenue was not far enough to make the company survive without the promised investment capital from the board. And so the rest of the board outvoted me to shut the company down that was otherwise producing revenue and valued at $25 million. And that lesson threw me into the world of cybersecurity and disinformation campaign countering, when I would have never in a million years imagined that I would be in this role. Yeah. But that's how life unfolds, right? So you get a lesson in life early on, you don't learn that lesson, comes back twofold, and then you don't learn that, comes back twofold of that, until it becomes painful enough. And so unless you learn that lesson, I clearly wasn't learning my lesson in the early days. And again, we come back to that spiritual awakening. How am I learning from the simple lessons in life before they become painful enough where the stakes are really high? And so this time around, I said, enough is enough. And so the confluence of everything just happened to put me on this path. But to answer your question, that was probably the biggest surprise of my life.
I love it. There's a phrase in Chinese saying that 酸甜苦辣. It means life has different flavors, sour, bitter, spicy, and sweet, and all the things. And if you think about another metaphor, would be like a roller coaster. It's not really a roller coaster if you just keep falling down. It's not really a roller coaster if you keep going up. So the joy of roller coaster is actually twist left and right, up and down, side to side. I try to think about it this way, and ultimately everything really is a blessing. The fact that whenever I fail, whenever I succeed, whenever I have conversations, it's all a win. So.
It all comes back to, seriously guys, for everybody listening in, every single topic has the good side or the positive side of thinking about it and the negative side. Everything. I don't care whether you're talking about a friend bitching and moaning to you about something, that has a positive side to it as well. If they can't find it, you find it, right? Because that allows you to live a more empowering life. Same thing with you. Whenever you find yourself having negative chatter around something, what's the positive side of it? When what happened with my company happened to me, a lot of people said, oh my God, I couldn't get out of bed if that happened to me. What? No, you look at that as a blessing in your life and you figure out all the lessons out of it, and you bring that and those lessons to, as I did in my current endeavors, a higher purpose of bringing cybersecurity to boards, to private sectors, etc., and transforming your pain into a bigger benefit for the world, whatever that is.